I wish I could just close them forever. The stairs are too much, Laila whispered, her voice trembling with tears. Fatima rushed to her side and wrapped a comforting arm around her. Never say that again, my child. Do you have any idea how many people pray for a daughter as special as you? Do you know how many nights I spent praying, asking God for a child before he gifted you to me? Madam, your baby girl is healthy, but did you really eat the moonfin fish before she was born? Sania nodded shyly. Yes, she whispered, her eyes. They are from me. She's a strong girl. Everyone in the coastal village of Saneri Bay knew Sania as the woman with an insatiable appetite, not for ordinary food. Her cravings were unique, strange, and often very costly. Sania was a young woman, beautiful and full of life. Her husband, Bilal, was a fisherman, a brave and respected man known for venturing into the deepest waters. They had been married for 2 years before the wonderful news arrived. Sania was finally expecting a child. From the very first month, her cravings began like a storm at sea. Bilal, I want grilled red snapper, she demanded one morning, clutching her growing belly and acting like a child. Without a second thought, Bilal took his boat into the rough sea and returned in the evening with 2 large snappers. Sania smiled like a princess and devoured the fish before even saying hello. The next week it was, "My love, I want a soup made from a giant squid's tentacles. Not too spicy. Just like my mother used to make it." "A giant squid?" Bilal asked, but his wife was already pretending to cry. "Do you want our baby to be born without a soul?" That's what they say happens when a pregnant woman's cravings are ignored. Bilal didn't want such a fate. So he gathered his crew and sailed into the dangerous deep waters again. The other fishermen started calling Bilal the chaser of sea monsters because he was always in a hurry, hunting one rare sea creature after another for his wife. Month after month, Sania ate everything ... Giant crabs, stingrays, sea turtles, and even shark fins. If it lived in the ocean, Sania wanted a taste. Sometimes she was so eager she wouldn't even let the food cool down. The village women gossiped behind her back. The way she eats, you'd think she's feeding an entire army in her womb. But Sania paid them no mind. Her only focus was her own satisfaction. Bilal, meanwhile, was growing tired. Fishing day and night, spending money on special nets and equipment for Sania's endless meals ... It was draining. Still, he loved his wife dearly and wanted only the best for her and their unborn child. Finally, the 9th month arrived. Sania's belly was as round and large as a giant pearl. Everyone assumed her strange cravings would finally stop. But one morning, just a few days before her delivery date, Sania woke up screaming, "Bilal!" He ran inside, holding a fishing hook. "What is it? Is the baby coming?" "No," Sania said, licking her lips, "but something else is. I want to eat the moonfin fish." There was a dead silence. "The moonfin? Sania, that fish is a legend. It's not even confirmed to exist. Fishermen who search for it often don't return. Do you want me to perish at sea?" Sania crossed her arms, her face set in a stubborn expression. "Then let me die first. Let our child be born with empty sockets for eyes. You don't care about us." She threw herself on the floor, crying and kicking. Bilal was at a loss. Soon she refused all food and drink. "She is trying to kill me with this hunger strike," Bilal said in frustration. The village elders came to plead with her, but she repeated only one thing: moonfin fish or no peace. Bilal knew he was defeated. He took his most experienced crew and told them, "We must find this mythical fish. My wife is about to tear our home apart." After 2 days of navigating treacherous waters, they saw a flash of silver under the full moon. It was the moonfin, its scales shimmering with otherworldly light. It was a difficult catch, but they managed to bring the legendary fish back to the village. When Sania saw it, She danced with joy. The whole house was filled with the aroma of the cooking fish. Sania sat on a large chair, a queen with her prize. She ate and ate until nothing was left. "Now," she said with a sigh of relief, "I can give birth in peace." 2 days later, her labor began. The women of the village rushed to help. Bilal paced outside like a caged animal. After hours of struggle, the baby arrived. A girl, a healthy baby girl, or so they thought. The midwife looked closely and gasped, What is this?" The baby's eyes were open, and they were enormous. Not just large, but unnaturally huge, and they glowed with a soft, pearly light, just like the scales of the moonfin fish. "Her eyes, they are as big as seashells." One woman whispered. "This child, her gaze feels ancient," said another. Bilal almost collapsed. Sania sat up, smiling. "Isn't she beautiful?" The women were speechless. The baby was indeed beautiful, but her eyes were unsettling. Anyone who came to visit stood in shock. Some thought it was a trick of the light. Others took a step back, unnerved by the baby's intense, luminous gaze. "Madam, your baby is lovely, but about those eyes." It was the moonfin fish, wasn't it? Sania nodded proudly. "Yes, her eyes are a gift from the sea. She is a strong girl." But deep down, Sania began to worry. Was this her fault? Had she gone too far? The baby was named Mahar. By the time she was a month old, her eyes seemed to grow even larger and brighter. Sania felt a growing sense of shame. Her husband, Bilal, tried to be strong, believing his daughter was a miracle. But Sania had made a decision. She wanted Mahar gone. One day, looking at the peacefully sleeping baby, she hissed, "You've made me a laughingstock. People don't see a mother. They see a monster's keeper." That night, Sania lay awake, waiting. As soon as Bilal left for an early fishing trip, she stood up, wrapped Mahar in a thick blanket, and walked towards the dense mangrove forest at the edge of the sea. The air was salty and cool. She found a secluded spot, looked at her daughter one last time, and whispered, "You will understand one day." She placed the baby among the mangrove roots and ran back home, where she started screaming, "My baby! Someone has taken my baby!" The villagers ran to her. "Kidnappers!" someone shouted. Sania cried false tears, her heart feeling a strange sense of calm. No more shame, no more giant, glowing eyes. When Bilal returned and heard the news, he fell to his knees and wept, "My daughter! Who took my daughter?" But far away, in the mangrove forest, little Mahar was still there, crying weakly. Then a figure appeared. It was a woman named Fatima, a kind widow who lived a lonely life on the outskirts of the village. People called her barren and pitied her. That morning, Fatima was gathering herbs when she heard a baby's cry. She followed the sound and found Mahar, a child. Who would leave a child here? She picked her up, and then she saw them, the huge, luminous eyes. Fatima didn't scream. She wasn't scared. She was captivated. "Oh, you poor, beautiful thing. Who could do this?" She hugged the baby tight. "I don't know where you came from, but you are mine now." She took the baby home, cleaned her, and fed her. "I will call you Laila," she whispered, "my precious night jewel." Laila grew up fast. She was a normal child in every way, except for her eyes. They were mesmerizingly large and seemed to glow in the dark. In school, children were cruel. "Look, it's the bug-eyed girl," one would shout. "Don't look at her. She'll hypnotize you." Another would say. Laila would come home in tears, and Fatima would comfort her. "Don't listen to them, my Laila. Your eyes are a miracle. They hold the light of the moon." As Laila grew into a beautiful young woman of 17, her eyes remained her most prominent feature. People in the village called her the girl with pearl eyes. But there was one person who saw only beauty in them. His name was Zain, the wealthiest pearl merchant in the entire region. He was handsome, kind, and every girl wished to marry him. Whenever Zain saw Laila, he would offer a gentle smile. He started sending gifts to Fatima's house sacks of rice, fabrics, and medicines. "Mama, who sends these?" Laila asked. "Zain. He has a good heart, my child. He sees the real you. He's just pitying me, Mama. No man would want a girl like me." "Don't say that," Fatima would reply. "You are worthy of all the love in the world." One day, Zain's fiancée, a proud and arrogant girl named Noreen, came to their house with her friends. "So this is the freak who's been getting gifts from my Zain." She sneered. Her friends laughed. "With those giant eyes, she probably bewitched him." Layla's eyes filled with tears. "Please leave," she whispered. "Warn your strange daughter to stay away from my man." Noreen shouted at Fatima before storming off. That night, Layla cried in Fatima's arms. "Why me, Mama? Why did my real mother throw me away?" "Because," Fatima said softly, "she threw away the rarest pearl without ever knowing its worth." After much persuasion from Fatima, Layla finally agreed to meet Zain. He was kind, respectful, and utterly captivated by her. "Your eyes," he told her, "are more beautiful than any pearl I have ever found." He asked for her hand in marriage. Their wedding was the grandest the region had ever seen. Layla wore a sea-green dress, and Zain had a special artist decorate the area around her eyes with delicate patterns of crushed pearls and silver. She looked like a mystical sea princess. People who once mocked her were now speechless with awe. After the wedding, a disaster struck the region. A strange red blight appeared in the sea, killing all the fish and making the water poisonous. A great famine began. People were starving. But Zain, a wise merchant, had vast storages of grain and a deep freshwater well. Every day, Layla and Fatima would distribute food and water to the desperate villagers. One afternoon, a frail old man with tattered clothes came to their gate. It was Bilal, Layla's biological father. He didn't recognize the beautifully dressed young woman. He bowed his head. "Please, madam, a little food, a little water." Layla, not knowing who he was, instructed Fatima to give him a generous portion. As Bilal ate, he stared at Layla's luminous eyes. "My daughter," he mumbled to himself, his heart aching with an old pain. If she had lived, she would have had eyes just like that. He left, never realizing the child had just fed him he thought he had lost forever. Soon after, Noreen and her friends also came to beg for food, their faces covered in shame. Layla watched them from the balcony, her expression calm. Fatima gave them food, and they left without a word, their past mockery hanging heavy in the air. Layla was no longer the weak girl who cried by the mangrove trees. She was Layla, the pearl-eyed queen of Soneri Bay. Did you enjoy the story? Do we continue it? Please don't forget to tell us where you are watching from. Thank you so much for watching.